Everybody thought it was just another regular on-screen pairing, until suddenly people started paying closer attention to Bryan Okwara and Sonia Uche, and now it's like the whole internet is asking the same question at the same time: what is really going on here? Because this didn't just blow up overnight. It started from those small unnoticed moments, the kind you would normally scroll past, but somehow they kept repeating themselves in different clips, different scenes, different interviews, and before anyone could even pin it down, fans were already connecting dots and saying, wait, this feels different, this doesn't look like acting anymore, this looks real. And the crazy part is nobody can point to one single confirmation, yet the energy is loud enough that you don't even need words to explain it, because once you've seen it, and there's no going back from that feeling that something deeper might actually be happening behind the scenes. And that's where everything changed, because there was that one moment, yes, that one exact moment fans keep replaying over and over again. The scene wasn't even supposed to be dramatic, but the way Bryan looked at Sonia caught everyone off guard. It wasn't just a normal glance, it was one of those looks that lingers just a little longer than necessary, like he forgot the cameras were rolling for a second. And in that brief pause, something shifted, something clicked, and people felt it instantly, like hold on, that wasn't scripted, that didn't feel rehearsed, that felt personal. And from that point on, every single interaction between them started getting analyzed like evidence in a case. Fans slowed down clips, zoomed in on facial expressions, compared different scenes, and suddenly it became impossible to ignore the pattern, because it kept happening again and again. The eye contact, the subtle smiles, the way their body language naturally aligned without effort. And it didn't look forced, it didn't look like two actors trying to convince an audience, it looked like two people who were already comfortable with each other beyond the script. And that's exactly what made people start talking louder, because chemistry like that is hard to fake, and even harder to sustain across multiple appearances, unless there's something real fueling it underneath. And now everywhere you turn, their names are popping up together in conversations, in comments, in fan edits. And it's not even just casual mentions anymore, it's full-blown discussions, theories, breakdowns, people debating what it means and whether it's just great acting or something more, because fans have seen good acting before, they've seen convincing pairs before, but this one feels different. This one has that extra layer that makes people pause mid-scroll and go back to rewatch, like, did you see that? Did you catch that look? Did you notice how she reacted in that moment? And the more people watch, the more they notice little details that didn't stand out at first, like how Sonia's expressions soften when Bryan is around, or how Bryan's tone shifts slightly when he's talking to her compared to others. And these are not big obvious things, they're subtle, almost invisible, but when you put them together they start telling a story that no one has officially confirmed yet, but everyone seems to understand without needing it spelled out. And that's how it spread so quickly, because once a few people started pointing it out, it was like a chain reaction. More viewers went back to check for themselves, and once they saw it they couldn't unsee it anymore, and now it's everywhere. Clips are circulating, captions are getting bolder, people are no longer just asking questions, they're making statements like, this is not just acting anymore, this is something else entirely. And even those who were skeptical at first are slowly starting to admit that, okay, there might actually be something here, because you can only explain away so many moments before it stops being coincidence and starts looking intentional, or at least natural, in a way that goes beyond professional performance. And what makes it even more interesting is how neither of them has come out to directly address it in a clear way, which only adds more fuel to the speculation. Because in situations like this, silence doesn't calm things down, it actually makes people look closer, listen harder, read between the lines, and every little thing becomes a clue. Every interview, every behind-the-scenes clip, every interaction gets dissected, and somehow, instead of clearing things up, it keeps reinforcing the same idea that there is something genuine happening, whether they choose to label it or not. And that's why fans are so invested now, because it feels like they are witnessing something unfold in real time, not a staged storyline, not a scripted romance, but something organic, something that is growing quietly in front of everyone, without needing a big announcement. And the beauty of it is in how subtle it is, because it's not loud, it's not dramatic, it's not forced into people's faces, it's just there in those quiet, in between moments that you only notice if you're really paying attention. And that's what makes it powerful, because those are the moments that feel the most real, the ones that can't be easily controlled or rehearsed. And that's why people keep coming back to watch more, because they're trying to catch those moments again, trying to confirm that what they saw was actually real, and each time they do it just adds to the conversation. And now it's at a point where even people who weren't initially paying attention are getting pulled in, because the buzz is too strong to ignore. Everyone is talking about it, everyone is curious, everyone wants to know what's really going on between them, and whether this is just an on-screen connection that somehow became too convincing, or if it's something that has quietly crossed over into real life. And honestly, that question might be the reason this whole thing keeps growing, because the mystery keeps it alive, the lack of clear answers keeps people engaged, and as long as those moments keep happening, those little looks, those natural reactions, that undeniable ease they have around each other, the conversation is not going anywhere anytime soon, because now it's bigger than just a pairing. It's become a story that fans feel like they are part of a story. They are actively trying to figure out piece by piece, and every new clip, every new scene, every new appearance adds another layer to it, and keeps the momentum going. And the truth is, whether it turns out to be something confirmed or not, the impact is already there. The connection people feel when they watch them is already established, and that's something you can't fake or manufacture, because audiences can tell when something is real, or at least feels real enough to believe in. And right now, that's exactly what Bryan Okwara and Sonia Uche are giving people: something that feels authentic, something that sparks curiosity, something that makes people talk and rewatch and analyze and share. And that's how it went from something small to something massive, because once people start feeling something like that collectively, it spreads fast, it grows quickly, and before you know it, it becomes a full-blown conversation that everyone wants to be part of. And that's exactly where we are now with them. No official statements, no dramatic reveals, just a series of moments that keep building on each other, creating a narrative that fans are piecing together in real time. And honestly, that might be what makes it even more interesting, because it's not being handed to anyone, it's being discovered. And that sense of discovery is what keeps people hooked, keeps them watching, keeps them talking, and keeps this whole thing alive and growing with every passing day.